السيدات والسادة الحضور، اليوم تحقق الدول الإفريقية وثبة طموح على أرض مصر بإطلاق المعرض التجاري البيني الإفريقي الأول، منصة للتكامل الإفريقي بين شعوب القارة. رحبوا معي بالسيد أولوشاغون أوباسانجو رئيس المجلس الاستشاري لمعرض التجارة البينية الإفريقية والرئيس الأسبق لنيجيريا. His Excellency Mr. Olusegun Obasanjo, Chairman of the Intra-African Trade Fair Advisory Council and the former President of Nigeria.
Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellency,
السادة
distinguished ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and friends of Africa. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you and to address you here in Cairo today at the opening of the first ever Intra-African Trade Fair. It is a 7-day trade show and is the first of its kind in Africa. It has been designed to drive intra-African trade and to support the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, a landmark agreement in the context of economic integration, transformation, and progress in Africa.
والتقدم الاقتصادي في أفريقيا.
A platform for sharing African trade, investment, and information, enabling buyers and sellers, investors, producers, and countries to meet, to discuss, and to conclude business arrangements and deals. This trade fair gives opportunities for exhibitors to showcase their goods and services and share with others trend and market information. The trade fair also opportunely follows hot on the heels of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which aims to pioneer, support, facilitate and drive free trade and economic development across our continent. A situation where trade among African countries is a paltry 18% compared with 52% among Asian countries and 68% among European countries, calls for drastic positive action on our part.
ويجب علينا نقوم باتخاذ الخطوات اللازمة في هذا الخصوص. يجب أن نقوم بتعزيز التجارة ما بين الدول الأفريقية. يجب علينا أن يكون لدينا دور في المعارض التجارية. وبنهاية هذا المعرض سوف نتمكن من تطوير التجارة ما بين الدول الأفريقية. وعن طريقك السيد رئيس الوزراء
and the Arab Republic of Egypt
وفي جمهورية مصر العربية
of this maiden event.
نتمكن من تحقيق ذلك. هناك الترتيبات المتاحة من أجل ذلك.
May I congratulate Afreximbank and the African Union for their foresight, thoughtfulness, initiative, and their hard work in promoting, organizing, and propelling this trade fair. Afreximbank and the AU have worked tirelessly since the announcement of the trade fair in Kigali in March this year, in order to ensure that this project is a resounding success.
نتأكد أن هناك حصة جيدة بالنسبة للدول الأفريقية في معارض التجارة.
When we started planning for the project, we did not have any financial resources to begin with. But Afreximbank provided significant financial resources to get the preparation of the ground. Professor Oramah and other senior members of the management of the bank infected all of us with their enthusiasm and conviction that the trade fair will pay off and play a pivotal role in Africa's transformation process. We share their conviction that the trade fair will also contribute immensely toward the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which will play a vital role in transforming businesses and economies, creating employment and generating wealth, and building prosperity across the continent. In order to ensure that there is proper guidance and support towards the preparation for the trade fair, the bank established the Intra-African Trade Fair Advisory Council, and I was honored to chair this important body. I would therefore wish to recognize my able and supporting Deputy Chair in person of Jean-Louis Ekra, former President of Afreximbank. I am also grateful for the support that was provided by the AU under the leadership of His Excellency Albert Muchanga, the African Union Commissioner for Trade and Industry, who is also a member of the IATF Advisory Council and who provided immense support in marketing and promoting this trade fair. I acknowledge the work that was undertaken by other members of the Advisory Council, especially the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the African Trade Policy Center, UNECA, the World Trade Center in Miami, the International Trade Center, the International Islamic Trade Finance Corporation of the Islamic Development Bank Group, the Export Development Authority of Egypt's Ministry of Trade, the Afro Champions Initiative, and our trade fair organizers. We owe each of them a debt of gratitude. Our journey toward the IATF 2018 officially started on March 2018 when the Intra-African Trade Fair was launched in Kigali, Rwanda, on the margins of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement Summit. We held advisory council meetings every month in addition to other engagements, and these made huge contributions to the successful organization of the trade fair. As the chairman of the Advisory Council, I want to commend every member of the Advisory Council for performing their roles and responsibilities in a professional manner and with the highest level of commitment, enthusiasm, faith, and conviction. I could not have had a better team to work with. It was a great and delightful pleasure and satisfaction. I would also like to thank all our partners, especially our sponsors, who believe in us and in our vision of transforming Africa through intra-Africa trade. Most importantly, I would like to thank all of you who are gathered here for coming in large numbers and giving so much of your time to attend this pioneer landmark event. It will go down in history as the first instrument towards implementing the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is set to transform and enhance the way in which we conduct intra-African trade. I believe that by coming together, we will be able to get to know one another, share more information that will help trade, that will help investment and economic progress within Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, with loud applause, please join me in showing our appreciation to the members of the IATF Advisory Council, as well as all our sponsors and partners who have all made it possible and made it to happen. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate that the trade fair is one of the instruments that we need to use to support the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is vital for African transformation. It is therefore imperative that all African governments who believe in African progress must not only sign the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, but ratify it at once to get the 22 countries whose ratification will signal the commencement of the implementation of the agreement. Without uninhibited trading among African countries, intra-African trade fair will amount to sham. Africa needs to focus on what trade is needed, where the markets are, the size of the market, and the standards required by those markets, how and where to join the value chains that serve the markets. We also need to fashion out the medium of payment within Africa for intra-African trade expeditiously. These factors need to be combined with ensuring that there is a commercially viable return and that the markets chosen are sustainable. Let us try to learn more about ourselves, know more about ourselves, so as to mutually help ourselves. We are potentially strong, but we need to work and act together to make ourselves actually strong. There's no virtue or much value in potentiality. Virtue and values lie in actuality. We have long been potential this and potential that. Let us now be actual. Then we will earn more respect as members of the human race. We must be competitive proactive, and make ourselves matter and reckoned with, not as aid getters, but as trade makers in Africa and globally. It is our duty to create the environment where the entrepreneurial spirit of Africans can succeed. Stronger economies yield the rewards of better health, education, improved employment opportunities, and prosperity for all. The present and future generations must have greater expectations, greater choices, and greater opportunities to succeed. It is their right, and nobody should deprive them of such inalienable right. Together, we can make Africa part of the global powerhouse. Let us do it so that we can create sustainable trade and economic growth and increase prosperity across the continent. We need collective enthusiasm, can-do and indomitable spirit, unbending attitude, hard work, and collaborative, assertive action. We have reached where we are today for this trade fair because of commitment of all involved. And once again, I thank all of you. From now on, the hallmark of future intra-African trade fairs will be total commitment by all concerned. Once again, you are all welcome to the first Intra-African Trade Fair in Cairo, Egypt, the cradle of civilization. Thank you for